Oh, look at this beautiful thing. One of our oldest customers, so he knows when he's bringing the vehicle into the Pride Hospital, to bring it in clean so Anthony can put his hands all over it and not get his hands dirty. That's what we want. Beautiful. Everybody can have a laugh, but you know, you don't need to have things dirty and get your hands dirty to prove that you can work on vehicles. What are we doing on this one? We're doing a BFE job. What's BFE? Bacon and fried eggs? No, incorrect. It's the big front engine job, BFE. Something that I invented. Now, at some stage he did do something and lean and break this, but it's all, he's put a bit of pipe in there, which was quite creative when you think about it. So if you do break this, another thing you can get is get a bit of tube, metal pipe, and the right size on the inside, and some special gluey stuff. Problem is, I'm doing a BFE job on this now, and so how am I going to get that off without upsetting that job? Well, probably what I'm going to do is something different. I'm going to leave that there. Obviously, I have to flex it out of the way to get the fan shroud out of the way, but I'll disconnect from the other end. So we're going to get on with the BFE job here. There could be a few parts to this video. Going to run through it again. I've been there, done this before. It's in the BFE playlist. There's a lot more in the VIP group, of course. And bada bing, bada boom. I'll show you some steps. First thing we're going to do now is remove these by gently pressing them like that. I'm going to get a screwdriver because it's not always a gentle press, and we'll get them all out. So kind of what we need to do is just don't try and put the lever under them, right? You've got to push the center in. These ones are done, this car's done 300,000 k's, so they're getting a bit old, so they could be a bit of a pain, but right, I'll just show you, demonstrate with a few, and then I'll just get on with it and get them out, right? So I like to use it's an old Sid's Chrome one. It's really blunt on the end, so it doesn't leave any scratches. But see that one, that one was really hard, so there's no way you're gonna have a sore finger at the end of that if you continue trying to get these stuck ones out with your finger. So when the car's, this is the problem, right? And this is why it's good if I actually get on the video and the tools every now and then, because we get an update. Because when the cars were new, these release really easy. All you have to do is go, oh, nearly lost that one. It landed right there. Now, I'm trying to be quick because of the people that don't want too much waffle and look, it's actually really hard. They're all really hard, right? So that's where so you just learnt something, because if you watch the old videos, you might go, oh, why is it so easy for this guy to pop these clips? But they're all videos from back when, back when the cars were new, right? Anyway, I'm going to get all these clips out. Yeah, once you get the clips out, you just, oh, there's one left. That's right, the different one. Take two. When all the clips are out, everybody knows it just lifts off. How do you like that for take two? So one of the next things you're going to do, you're going to take the drain plug out on the 150s. It's this side of the radiator, and remove the cap. Put your drain tray underneath. Put your cap in a safe place, and then get your little quarter drive 10 mil. I like to work with quarter drive on all this small stuff and start removing the 3 bolts that hold what I'm going to call the header tank. That one. I'm not saying I've got the right tools, but I'm just saying I like to use the quarter drive, right? 1, 2, and there's a third one over this side. Bada bing, right? Crack those, take those out. I've got to say, of all the YouTube videos I've seen where I've watched the old one of other people, they fluff around a lot and don't show you anything. So I'm not going to do that, right? So 3 bolts are out. That's nice and loose. What we want to do now is get a pair of pliers and remove that clamp off that bottom hose there, and carefully remove that bottom hose without yanking on the other end of it, because remember, it's connected to that other end of the radiator. Then you would normally take that end of the hose off, but this one's damaged, so I'm going to fluff around and take this end off, I think, which I don't even know if I've ever done that before, and I'm going to get this out of the way. So you go and do that. Right, so here we go, my way, something different. So all I've done is slip that clamp down a bit. That hose comes off there usually pretty easily, and this time it's just going to be a matter of move that clamp up to there, and I'm going to assume for a minute that that is going to come off fairly easily as well. So instead of taking the whole tank off with the hose flopping everywhere like we normally do, I just take off the tank like that. Now I do like to do things in detail. So one of the next things you got to do, you've got your auto cooler line. So there's a clamp here for a couple of things. I'm going to try and show you. So cameraman and mechanic at the same time, right? So these clips, they're really easy to open. Just get your long flat blade and just gently open it up like that. That's the one on the hose. I'll just put the screwdriver down, so that'll just come out of that clamp there. Or you can, there's 2 ways to, there's 2 ways to do things. You can open up the clamp, pull that out of the clamp, or you can actually unclip the hose off the clamp. And of course you've got the other ones for the auto cooler lines there as well. Very difficult to demonstrate, but there may be more information in another video like in the VIP group, but I've got to be quick and get this job done. So basically take the clamps off the lines so that the next step when we remove these 2 bolts, is one there, and on the fan shroud at that side over there, 2 bolts. The bottom fan shroud just slips in, it's like clips in. But to take the 4 nuts off the fan there, and the fan shroud will just come out together carefully around that you know, that coolant line that's still there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I've got all the hoses disconnected from the fan shroud, take the 2 bolts out of the top of the fan shroud, the 4 nuts off the fan, and get all that out of the way, and then we'll continue. What I want to do, if I can though, is just before we move on, just show you those clamps a bit better, because this is the problem in other people's YouTube videos. They don't show enough detail of things that are a bit harder, right? So see these clamps here, right? See this one here, the one at the back, see how it's open? That's the coolant one, and see the one on the auto line behind it down here. Very hard for me to get down there and show you, but I'm trying my hardest. So hit the like button, because I'm really trying here for you. Anyway, right, so when the fan shroud comes out, they will just come out of the bracket, right, off that clamp there. See what I mean? I remember which way they go. The one at the bottom goes at the front, and the one at the top goes behind it like that, right? So I'll just pull that again. This is the top one, goes at the back. Bada bing, you can see that clamp's open there. See the other end of it, right? It's back around here at the moment, right? All right, so there you go. Now, 4 fan nuts, 2 10 mils like that at each side, 1 at each side, and then the whole lot's going to lift out together. But people are saying, hang on a minute, don't you have to take all the belt off first before you undo the fan? Well, that might be a procedure in the way some people do it, but as you can see, all 4 nuts are off. It's really easy, okay? Okay, I'll give you a hot tip if you're working on fans, right? Now, if you've got your spanner facing out this way, like the hands of the clock, it's going to have more pressure to undo it, right? So what you do is you angle it so you got less leverage if you want to twist it, or you go clockwise to twist it to get the nut coming up the right way. But as long as someone hasn't over-timed it, generally with the belt on, they're really easy to undo. And look, so the fan's kind of stuck there at the moment, hasn't moved yet. So I'm going to take the other nuts off. And one other thing I didn't mention, what you should probably do at this point as well, move these clamps up there and there, move the radiator, top radiator hose out of the way, because although you can get the fan shroud out with it there, it's easier to just get it off and out of the way. So we're going to do that as well. That's where these heater hose tools come in really handy. People wonder, you know, how do you get the hose? Look, you can probably, let's just muck around for a minute. Right, yeah, see that one, it's loose already, right? It's just this coolant, mate, this Toyota coolant. But let's have a look at the other end. Look, you don't even need the tool, but that's where these heater hose tools come in really handy. I highly recommend it for working on whether it's injectors, BFE, or anything on vehicles. It's kind of like the bigger one. This is the snap-on one, or Blue Point, whatever. Anyway, get yourself one of them, getting this hose out the way now. And one other thing, actually, I forgot to tell you. Have a look at that, right? 2018, 149k, that's my handwriting. Anyway, see, when the car's clean, you can work on it without getting your hands too dirty. You like that? Oh, I just went and washed them, actually. No, it wasn't too bad, but my point is, now the fan shroud's loose, the bolts are out, right? The only thing holding that is the clips at the bottom, and that fan's still sitting there, kind of dangerously, because as soon as I grab it and give it a bit of a twist, it's going to fall, and it'll fall into the radiator. Won't do too much damage, but of course I'm going to catch it. Now, what happens next after that is we've got to rewind a bit, and this is why I say watch all the videos, because when you were working on those nuts and bolts, what you would have found is the coolant temperature sensor plug that was here was in your way, and the back of your hand might have been pressing hard against those wires and plugs. So what I did and what I meant to tell you, but I forgot, and it's probably in another video, it's been said many times before, which is why I say get in the BFE playlist, unplug that and remove that clip, because it's got to come off anyway, and just put it up here out of the way, out of harm's way, so that you can work here without, you don't want to be bending wires. Wires, they are brittle things. They're like steel. Bend them back and forth and mess around with wires too much, you will damage them. Look, these wires, they're good quality. There's a bit of flex in copper, but you keep bending any piece of metal back and forth, it breaks in the end. So look after all your wires. You can't just go maneuvering the hell out of these wiring looms all over the place. We'll be doing injectors on this one soon. Believe it or not, it's another one of these engines with the rubbish pistons. It's done 300,000 Ks nearly. That's why it's here for a BFE. 300,000, it's never had the injectors replaced. Can you believe it? And it hasn't blown up, mate. But it's got the rubbish pistons, isn't it? Those crap pistons. Does that make sense to you? Anyway, whatever. So I'm going to lift this fan shroud. I can't hold the camera and do that. fan shroud and fans coming out. The point is, there could be important information in another video before you do this job, so watch more of them. But what's not in another video is this, because that's why I'm doing it. So at the bottom, this is where those plastic tabs at each side, see these just slot in on the side of it. You can look at the one at the other side over there, right? See it? Right, little tabs on the radiator, and that's where the radiator fan shroud, that's what this is. The tabs lock in, so make sure they're in down the bottom before you complete your job, because if you finish it all and they're not in, they could be down there somewhere but not in. Now, this is the clips for the auto cooler lines, right? So they just clip in there like that. So to get it out, you just get your flat blade in here, and it sort of pulls this end here. Whoop, pulls this end here out that way a bit, right? Just think it through, right? Pulls that way, and at the same time you're in there, and you sort of, and it just flicks out like that. Same thing with these ones. The 150s are really easy. The 120 is a bit more of a pain in the butt because they've got to clamp down the bottom here. And a couple of things, you can either get down there and open it up, or you can get in behind it and squeeze the tab and just release the whole thing out. That's what I do. But I haven't done a 120, seen those for a while, and happy not to, because to be honest, it's not that hard, but it's one of the big pain in the butt parts of the job. Now let's get this out of the way. So see what I've done with this? I've just sort of sat it over there out of harm's way, right? It's not hurting anything, but you got to just remember not to touch that. We don't need to go anywhere near that now. This is going to get the big reverse flush with a pressure washer through this way, push all this 300,000 Ks worth of crap that's in there out forwards. What's going to happen now? Most of all, this is all under control. We're doing the timing belt, the whole timing belt arrangement here, and all the belt and the pulleys and all stuff like that. You can see it goes sideways once I pull it off. So as soon as I grab that, it just went like that. You just lift the fan shroud up just a little bit, then you can gently get the fan out without damaging anything, nice and slow. Don't slip and fall and land on that, right? And put the fan down, and then come back for the fan shroud, and you gently work it out, because it's got to go around, you know, the ends. So you can see this radiator is actually looking like it's a fairly starting to get a bit eroded. So, you know, maybe the 400,000 K mark is somewhere where, you know, I've got a couple of radiators in stock in case anybody does get in trouble. They're doing this on the weekend. You're around Melbourne, and you know, you do get stuck. I've got one around Melbourne area and one in central Victoria. So I've got 150 radiators. So radiator's not coming out, no need to. So basically this is what I'm going to do next, right? I'm going to remove the drive belt by applying pressure on the tensioner with a 14mm. That's down here, this one, right? So just get your big bar on your 14mm thing, push on that, that'll bring this back in. You'll see the belt will come off. Just take a picture of where it goes, right? There should be a picture under the, here you go, here's your pictures there, right? So that's where it goes. Work out which one it is, type 1, 2, 3 or 4. Anyway, the point is, all you need to remember is the belt goes around the outside on the right, it goes under on the top, it goes into the side, and it goes in at the bottom. That's all you need to, that's how I remember it anyway, okay? That's my way. Just think all the way around, it's got to go in under one, in under one, and in under one, except on the right hand side, it goes straight from there to there. See? Easy, just taught you something else, right? Hit the like button again. All right, we're going to take the belt off, then we're going to lift this pulley off out of the way, then we're going to take off this 14mm, this 14mm, and that 14mm off, so we can take those pulleys away to press the bearings. This has already got a 2-piece pump on it, so we don't need to pull the whole compressor, alternator, disconnect the battery, and the backing plate of the water pump, which goes in behind the timing belt again. It's an awesome setup. So we'll be changing the front part of the water pump, and of course then the timing cover will come off. And we've got a lot of videos on the timing marks and that sort of thing anyway. But that's what we're going to do next. But people don't like videos that are too long, so to be continued. Subscribe, turn the bell on, and we'll continue in sections. This is the first section. The next section will probably be over here, then the timing belt section, and bada bing. And then when I get sick of doing videos, I'll just finish the job, and that's it. Because unless you hit the like button enough and subscribe enough, I'm losing interest. Thanks for watching so far. To be continued. Catch you on the next one. See ya.